who are on the field, can you please go right back? That 10 players.
As I call you on the phone, snow keeps falling as I call you on the phone. Feel free to call me crazy, time to be alone. I could buy myself a ticket, feel like I never left your side. I could buy that Greyhound ticket, will seem like I never left your side. Got the homebound blues again, babe, can't say we never tried. Time is right now, baby, I'm glad you took my call. So glad I reached you, baby, I'm glad you took my call. Gotta get our act together, here to see us fall. I said the snow falls nightly as I call you on the phone. Snow keeps falling as I call you on the phone. Feel free to call me crazy.
Welcome everybody to the NCAFA Midget Championship. I'm Jesse Card with HESN. On behalf of NCAFA football, we just finished up a whole day of B-Cup championships. The midget final is next. We're going to have the audio broadcast call from CKDJ, Algonquin radio station. You're going to hear a little bit of the field mic. You're going to get a lot. And just to give you a little bit of a pregame going into this, what we have here is an undefeated team for the second year in a row, the West Ottawa Knights, playing out of the west of Ottawa. And they went perfect. They did not lose a game. Really the only contest that they had there was early on against the Norsemen. And of course the Norsemen are in Montreal tomorrow playing the QMFL First Division Championship to see who will play in the game at TD Place next Sunday for the Interprovincial Midget Championship, third annual. And the West Ottawa Knights will be playing a familiar foe, the Bel Air Norsemen, one of the most storied midget franchises, a very proud midget franchise within NCAFA, and they went 4-3 in the season. They've had their ups, they've had their downs, and I can tell you one thing from being a NCAFA football fan for pretty well my whole life, starting from the time I was tyke all the way through. I can tell you that in a championship game, doesn't matter how outmatched you might think a team is, these kids, when the lights are on, when we're on Minto Field, and it's early November, every player plays their heart out. And they know the whole community's watching. Over the last couple of years, with the help of HESN U Sports Broadcasting, we've been able to get these online. We're going to have a huge crowd watching here tonight. The weather, of course, as you can see, less than ideal. But it's not that cold. That's one thing. It is raining, it is wet, but it's not that cold. And I think for all the people that were thinking of coming out, we might get a lighter crowd in the stands, but that just means that we'll have a heavier crowd out there watching online. This is available, of course, on the NCAFA Facebook page, the HESN Facebook page. We have links on Instagram, and we have it being streamed on YouTube, on the HESN YouTube channel as well. So lots of places to find this Ottawa football. HESN, of course, is trying to promote the sport of football. We are trying to get more kids to play this sport. We are trying to elevate the bar of how we do things here in Ottawa. We appreciate your support, as always. So the 4-3 Bel Air Norsemen will be taking on the undefeated 8-0 West Ottawa Knights. We'll be back with you with the call from Devon of CKDJ Algonquin radio station shortly, and captains will be called for the coin toss. We're going to jump out for a moment to commercial, and we will have the Midget Championship 2019, the 64th edition this year of NCAFA Championship Weekend. Pretty special that we have this phenomenal football league here in Ottawa, and we thank you for joining us.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play?
Their
How good your
13th win of the
teammates
season,
are.
highest win totals.
There's no showcase of I made it here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by House Edge Media. House Edge Media is a creative marketing agency based in Ottawa that helps businesses innovate and automate their digital marketing activities. Visit them at houseedgemedia.com.
All right, welcome back. We're moments away from kickoff and the coin toss. Right now, we're looking at the star receiver for the West Ottawa Knights, also the kicker. That is, of course, Nathan Coleman. And I believe my prediction is if West Ottawa finds a way to utilize number 11 like they have for the last 2 years, this team is going to be next to impossible to defeat here for the Norsemen. Coleman, lots of offers, a lot of interest around this young man going, of course, to the next level. I think it's fairly certain to say that he's going to get a chance to play either down in the U.S. or perhaps he will see himself dressing on a roster for a U Sports program somewhere in Canada. It's a lot of expectations. Of course, he can kick. I've seen him make field goals from 50-plus yards this year on Bob Barr Field. Number 11 is going to be an absolute task for the Norsemen secondary to defend number 11 today, and they are going to have to do it if they have any chance, I believe, tonight. On the other side, we're looking at Steven Rivera, the running back for the Bel Air Norsemen, talking with his head coach, Tony Vellante. Steven Rivera came up from the Bel Air Lions program. And I can tell you, when you play for a program that long, and I know that the Bel Air Lions organization have gone out of their way to make sure that Steven is playing football. He has always had what the organization can give. They've done a great job raising this young man, and this guy is a load in the backfield. I suspect they're going to be giving him the rock all night in this rain, and he's going to love it. Now, of course, the rain, I believe, does play into the hands of the Bel Air Norsemen. They are coming into this contest, as I said before, as a 4-3 regular season team. They are no question the underdog in this game. But I can tell you, like I said, the midget final always produces a good game. Regardless of how the two teams performed, regardless of the mismatch or perceived mismatch that you have at this level, we're going to get a good game here tonight. It is going to be fast. It is going to be physical. You can see the West Ottawa team. They went undefeated last season. They made an appearance in the Interprovincial Bowl in Montreal. They played the Sun Youth Hornets, eventually losing that game to a very, very talented Sun Youth team. Nathan Coleman, of course, got hurt heading into halftime, wasn't able to come back and finish the second half. Ultimately, that, I think, was part of it. Now, the other thing we should mention about this West Ottawa team this year is that they had league MVP quarterback Jared Valentino returning to this team, but they also produced their all-star quarterback Connor Van Ass from the Bantam program. So as he moved up to the Bantam program, we had two very capable quarterbacks for the West Ottawa Knights, and eventually it was Connor Van Ass that won the job out. They're going with him tonight. He will be the starting quarterback, and you know that they love to put the ball in the air. They are going to pass early and often in this contest, and as I said, the secondary is going to have a huge task. I hope they have a game plan for this aerial attack of West Ottawa. We're going to be going to Canada here, and when we come back, we're going to step aside to commercial shortly. When we come back, we're going to have the kickoff of the 2019 Midget Championship.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U.
Titan Performance Center. Register for their off-season football program before November 4th and receive a free Titan hoodie. Limited roster. Message Titan to claim your spot.
just getting ready. We're going to get started here in just a couple minutes here between the Midget A final. The winner of this game will advance to the 3rd annual Interprovincial Midget Championship at TD Place next Sunday. Appearing in this game with a regular season record of 4-3 will be the Bel Air Norsemen. And then with a perfect record of 8-0, the defending NCAFA Midget champions, the Ottawa West Knights. This is going to be a game of the ages. The underdogs for sure here. We are getting ready to go here. The field is extremely cold right now. It is about, I'd say, 2 or 3 degrees out there, and it has been raining for the last few hours, so the field is going to be very wet. Here they go, lining up to kick. The Norsemen are going to kick to the Knights. Having a little bit of issues with our clock. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in on CKDJ 107.9 and as well on HESN.
And Jesse Card back here tapping into the feed occasionally just to add a little bit of more texture to the broadcast. We want to thank Devin of CKDJ for providing the play-by-play call-in. Like I said, I'm going to stop in here and there to just add a little context to the broadcast. The Norsemen will kick off to the Knights. The Knights not really an explosive kickoff return team. They usually focus on getting possession. They focus on getting possession and then turning the ball over to who do it the best, their offense. They have outscored their opponents every single game by at least 25 points. Their defense, no slouch also. And we're going to get a chance to see this aerial attack first and how Norsemen intend to defend this explosive, high-octane offense of the Knights. Here we go. Moments away from kickoff. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in online. And back up to Devin of CKDJ.
Having fog issues in the booth, that's what the commotion in the background you can hear is. If you want to go crack the door a little bit.
And we're off. The 2019 Midget Championship, the ball's kicked off and it slips past the returner.
Received by the number 24 who's bringing it up the sidelines, and he's out of bounds at around the 33-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the West Ottawa Knights. Connor Van Ass, the quarterback, coming out.
Ferdinand returning the ball. It is 1st and 10. Quarterback Connor Van Ass in the shotgun. Bullet away. Right to the receiver, number 4. Devon Blackwood.
Blackwood with the reception. Blackwood, a part of that team last year that ran reg shot over the league.
Another run on the play. Didn't get the number here. We can see it, number 37, run on the play by 37.
That's Ethan Rocha on the carry. He's coming up from the bantam level. Won the A Cup at the bantam level for the Knights. Now he's the starting running back at midget.
Another run on the play. Looks like a direct snap to number 11, who takes it up the field to at least 12 yards. That's good for another 1st down.
And that's Nathan Coleman, first reception of the evening with a little underneath route, but defended quite well. No big chunks yet. Both teams testing each other out.
46-yard line. The handoff up the middle again.
And Roca's got something.
And pushed out of bounds at around the 20-yard line.
Ethan Roca with a big carry early on, wearing the visor tonight.
The ball is on the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Handoff up the middle. Roca is taken down by
Number 37.
42 of the Bel Air Norsemen. That's Jake
Number 37
Papalia.
player does not exist on my roster, so I can't tell you who it is. Roach, thank you to our stats person here in the booth.
Vanass to the air.
Pass completed for a touchdown by number 42, Aaron McArdle.
And that's Aaron McArdle again. He has been a big part of this offense. They love running him on that corner route, and this time they strike, and there's the mascot. The Knights have a mascot.
That makes the score 6-0 right now for Canada. They're lining up for the point after attempt. Lining up. Ball is snapped, and the kick is good. That makes the score 7-0 for the Canada Knights. 9 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Could I have a shirt passed down, please?
So we see early on West Ottawa on their first series, they put it in through the air, getting the corner route over the top of the Norseman defense for 6. And that is McArdle with the reception and touchdown. Son of longtime West Carleton president Andy McArdle. I'm sure Andy is in the crowd tonight and proud of his son's season that he's been able to put together. I've been hearing through the grapevine, University of Ottawa very interested in McArdle as a receiver that can come in and really provide to that receiving core of the Ottawa GGs.
Kicked deep by number 11, Armando Pascal de la Cruz.
Now Cruz with the kickoff return. Now he is an interesting story in this game, and maybe one we want to look at and keep an eye on. He did start the year and played last year with the Knights at the midget level. Of course, he was a big part, taking most of the snaps as the starting running back last year for the Knights, as they went undefeated and then eventually losing to the Hornets of Sun Youth in the Interprovincial Bowl. But now he was actually sent over, traded to the Norsemen, and now he is slot back to the right side of your screen.
Shotgun formation, trips left, and they're going to run it up the middle. And they're going to get stopped for a loss of a yard, I do believe. Not the start that this Bel Air offense really wanted or needed. Sorry, it was a loss of 2. Again, this Canada Knights team being undefeated coming into this game. The favored to win by far.
And it's a handoff up the middle for the Norsemen. I believe that's Steven Rivera on the carry. And it goes nowhere. So early on, this West Ottawa Knights team showing that their defense should not be too overshadowed by their electrifying offensive unit. But a lot of great stars on this Knights defense, as well, as we're about to see here. Big play here early on for the Norsemen.
The pass game, we are now playing 4-down football.
Defended beautifully by 2 Knights defenders, number 9 and number 82. It looked like it actually might have been could have been caught there, but one of the defenders got their hands in and knocked the ball ajar.
Tayo is incomplete. 4th and 14. They're going to be lining up to punt.
So we're seeing the first 4th down for the Norsemen. They look like they're going to punt wisely as they're pinned back in their own zone.
Giuseppe Badou's kick deep to number.
And that's Ferdinand on the reception. On the punt return, taking it all the way to the 25-yard line. We are going to hear this kid's name a lot tonight. And I can tell you, over the last 2 weeks, talking to the Carleton Ravens, talking to their coaches of NCAFA, talking to the Ottawa GGs, the Ferdinand twins are really under a microscope right now here in Ottawa. There's a lot of interest around these two fine young men. And no doubt we're going to hear their names being called at the next level. And Ferdinand showing that early on he's going to make an impact in this championship game. Vanass out of the shotgun. And he fumbles.
Time will tell. Ball is recovered by the Knights. Second and 10. They will get another try at that. Sorry, 2nd and 12.
It's a handoff to Ferdinand on the jet sweep, and he gets a couple. Finally taken out of bounds by number 42 in the Norsemen, Jake Papalia, or Jake the Snake, known in the Warriors end of town. Of course, Jake's father, longtime defensive coordinator at the bantam level for the Bell Warriors. Both his boys came up through the Warriors organization, and now Jake is in his second NCAFA Midget Championship for the 2nd year in a row.
Rocket and dropped by number 84.
Number 9 on the coverage for the Norsemen.
Patrick Mendoza. Kind of lining up again. They're going for it on 4th down. Connor Vanass's pass in the end zone is dropped. But there is a flag on the play.
So they're targeting Ferdinand in the back of the end zone there. You can't come down with the reception, but they want to get this kid the ball in this game a lot. And as I said in the start of the broadcast, I think the rain does play into the favor of the Norsemen. They're more of a ground and pound team with their running back, Steven Rivera. So I think the rain is definitely going to equalize this game a little bit. But with the Norsemen down already 7-0 and the Knights threatening, I think at this point in the game, the Norsemen really want to be cautious. They want to get the Knights to settle for a field goal here to stay in this game. They're going to have trouble outpacing the Knights, who are going to try to score a lot of points.
Number 10 runs up the middle, swallowed up by number 4.
That's Lucusa on the tackle. Lucusa, a product of the Bel Air Lions, came up all the way through like I believe his older brother. And now he is in his midget championship appearance here. Ferdinand around the end. He gets close, but a flag flies at towards the end of the play.
I can't make out the number. Looks like 2. Run out play by number 2. There's a flag on the play. That's 2 plays in a row that we've been penalized. Now, we did say in the previous game that it could be no flags. It will be against the Knights, so they're backing it back up. Illegal block against Canada. Back 10, and they will repeat second down.
A little bit of confusion there. Vanass is going to take off with it on his own. He's wrapped up by two Norsemen defenders, number 42 and number 40. Vanass, not afraid to run it. He is a physical quarterback. He likes to put his head down, his shoulder down, and truck defenders over. So by no means is he shy. If he doesn't see anything down the field, he will likely tuck it and run.
Connor Vanass backing up throw, almost sacked. We'll call that a sack.
And the Norsemen get to him. That's a big play. Austin Vow on the quarterback sack, wrapping in and containing Vanass. The one thing with Vanass is he's not going to be too mobile laterally. He's usually going to be very decisive with decision, tuck the ball, and go up the middle, looking for their middle linebacker to run over.
Biggest stop so far of the game, or the biggest stop of the game so far, being only the second stop of the game. Going to kick it from the 28. The ball is on the 28-yard line. The kick is good.
And that's Coleman.
That extends their lead by 3 points, so it is now 10-0. That's math. Failed that class a couple times, so it's fine.
And Coleman with the field goal. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. He is also the place kicker, and he can nail them from 50. So he puts another 3 points on the board. And between McCardle and Coleman, the Knights are up 10-0 here in the first quarter.
They'll be taking the ball on the 35-yard line. Bel-Air's 1st and 10. Communicating in the huddle now.
As we described, the winner of this game will play next Sunday at TD Place. The winner of the QMFL First Division Championship that's being held tomorrow. Or I believe actually it's tonight that the game is being played. The Orleans Rasmen versus the North Shore Lions, who won the Interprovincial Bowl in the 2 years ago when it was hosted in Ottawa last. So the Orleans Rasmen, coming from a 9-1 season in the second division as a new midget franchise. And in the second year, they're appearing in the first division championship. So an incredible feat for that Orleans Bengals organization that have put the Rasmen in place at the midget level. And the winner of this game will face either the North Shore Lions or the Orleans Rasmen. What an exciting game that would be if it was the Rasmen.
Ball snapped, handed off again to number 11, Mondo de la Cruz.
Huge reception. They get him.
And the ball was passed to...
Huge reception for the Norsemen. This is exactly what they need. I didn't think we would find it through the air with them, their first big play. We thought it would be Steven Rivera, but you got to believe that maybe in the scheming this week, West Ottawa's film sessions, they really put an emphasis on stopping Rivera in the backfield. And maybe part of that is a little bit weaker coverage in the secondary, but the Norsemen well inside Knights territory now. 1st and 10, here we go.
There's 11 yards. Run by...
And it's a toss left to Steven Rivera, Cruz. My mistake. He doesn't get much there, and that'll set up 2nd down and about 9 for the Norsemen.
So it is now that run for a loss of 2. Lining up 2nd and now 12. Under center now. Ball is snapped. Handed off to number 14. swallowed up behind the line.
And it's a fumble.
Recovered by. The fumble is recovered by the Knights.
And that is just huge. This cannot be overemphasized. The Knights come up with the ball, and when the Norsemen are in striking distance early on in the game, only down by 10, they put the ball on the field and turn it over, and that is huge. That cannot happen in a championship game, especially when you are coming into the contest as such an underdog. But it is what it is. The Knights will take over 1st and 10. Vanasse in the shotgun.
Belair tries to run the ball again, swallowed up. Sorry, Canada. I'm backwards here, forgetting what just happened in the game. Ball thrown by Connor Vanasse to number.
Quick reception. A little bit of shove by Roca at the end of the play there. But the Knights, they like that quick game. They get Vanasse, and literally he just gets the ball out of the shotgun and whips it out to one of his receivers, that time to the short side. And here we go, 1st and 10, Knights.
Coming across the field here, who just faked the ball.
The Norsemen, they're going to be looking to get a turnover themselves. They need something, some sort of spark here early on in the first half. A fumble, maybe an interception, maybe a big quarterback strip, sack. That would really play well into the Norsemen's game plan here. They're going to need a little luck tonight.
Huge throw tipped by number 24. That is the end of the first quarter of play. Score is 10-0.
And Smith comes up, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Maybe that wasn't a catchable ball for the free safety, but that is the kind of thing. That's the last play of the first quarter. And really, down 10, not the end of the world. But the defense is going to have to come up with a couple big key plays here in this game, and the offense certainly cannot put the ball on the turf here. Even in the wet conditions, ball security is going to be huge for the Norsemen.
For some second half of football.
We're going to step aside shortly for a quick commercial break and be back with the next play in a second.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple.
And we're back. Vanasse's pass over the middle gets deflected and falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Mondo Pascal de la Cruz trying to catch it, but sorry, that is the wrong team. Nathan Coleman trying to catch it, but Connor Vanasse's bullet just went right through his hands. We've seen that a couple times in other games that we've covered here on CKDJ. The bullet just keeps going. The ball is wet, and it just slips through the gloves. Gotta remember, it's been raining and it's still raining, so that field is wet.
And it's a fake punt.
Run by number 11.
And a fumble. I'm not sure he would have gotten the first down anyways, but regardless, he puts the ball out. That's Coleman,
7.
as we said, one of the top receivers for this Knights team, and he's also the punter and kicker, and he can take off with it. If he sees open space, he has the green light from head coach Jimmy Fata to go get the first down. That time it doesn't work, and the Norsemen get that key turnover that I talked about early on. They're going to need some help. There's the turnover they got back. What do they do with it as an offense here is going to be a big part of the outcome of this game. 1st and 10, Norsemen.
Finding him now in the shotgun formation. 3 backs. Handed off to number 14. Up the left.
That's Rivera with the carry.
About a 6 or 7 yard gain on the play.
And you know they're going to be giving the ball to Rivera a lot here. I think he's got 3 carries so far on the night, maybe about 25 yards.
Lining up again, this time under center. 3 backs.
Quick handoff up the middle.
Run up the middle by number 61. Tackled by...
That's number 81 on the carry.
At a number, can't make out the number.
We have Algonquin's radio station doing the call here today, giving some young guys a chance. Want to thank Devin and CKDJ for supplementing the broadcast. Here we go. Norsemen under center. Confusion in the backfield. Flips it out to Cruz. Cruz gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and a late flag flies.
Plays run up the middle, or around the outside there by number 11.
So what the Norsemen doesn't want to do here, they don't want to stall. Now they have a couple of young quarterbacks on their team. They can't rely on them to win the game completely through the air. It's not going to happen. They're going to need a dose of Steven Rivera, probably 80% of the night here. But that, again, will run a lot of time off the clock here. And they're going to need a few key completions through the air. I think the coaching staff this week really have to figure out and had to refine what type of play calling they want in this game. This is a challenge to not only stay in this game, I think, for Tony Vellante and his Norseman team, but to be able to win this game. I mean, it's going to take a lot of great play calling here, especially on offense, to get the job done. The Norsemen out of the shotgun. Two running backs beside him. 3, actually, kind of a wishbone look for the Norsemen. Here we go.
Bench is completely full, as well as the front fence.
Quarterback slips, goes down.
Sack on the play by number 53. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, doing these games, I'm going to need to check my prescription. It's now 3rd and 20 with that loss. They need something big here. Defense definitely keeping this Bel Air team in this one so far.
They go to the air.
Bryce's throw, wobbly, intended for number 1, incomplete.
But what I like out of this young quarterback for the Norsemen is you see he had some poise there. His first read wasn't there. He didn't get nervous feet. He just sat in there. He had good protection, lots of time, went through his progression, went over the middle. It was good. It was covered well by the Knights, and that'll set up the Norsemen here early on in the second quarter on a crucial down.
Backed up punt. Punts it into the middle of nowhere. Covered up by number 24.
And that's McCardle taking the return duties on punt. He wisely just jumped on the ball here. You don't want to get too fancy. He kind of slipped on the slick turf, and just wisely jumped on the ball there. The Norsemen defense going to need a big stop here on this series to stay in this game. Don't want it to get to 17-0 on this series. Van Ass out of the shotgun.
Tossed off the field because that's useless at the moment. Bomb down the field. Caught by number 11.
And who is that other than Coleman on the reception? Another huge gain for the West Ottawa Knights. That'll set up 1st and 10 around midfield for the Knights.
5-ish yard gain on the play there.
And they have to protect Coleman down the seam. They're going to go to that a lot. 5 receivers.
Wide open.
Van Ass goes to his right side, trying about a 10-yard curl, goes incomplete. The key here for the Norsemen is to bend, make some adjustments. It's not going to be easy tonight, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast. This night's offense, their offensive coordinator and coach is a former Acadia quarterback. He has coached these kids up. He has raised their game, and he has a good scheme for the Norsemen here.
Now,
And it's going to include a heavy dose of Roca, and they're going to try to blow the top off of this Norsemen secondary. When they smell blood in the water, they're going to go for it. And they have a very capable first-year midget quarterback in Vanasse, who won the job from All-Star Jared Vantino.
pass to number 2, complete. And that is good for a first down, Canada. Now, I will tell you, this game so far has everybody in this audience on the edge of their seats. Score is 10-0 for Canada. Bel Air offense having a little bit of trouble getting started, but the Bel Air defense holding Canada to their word. Bel Air blitzing there. Unsuccessful blitz. Number 11 run outside on the play.
Coleman.
First down, and he is pushed out of bounds. He's put
No flag there. I think that's a good patient call. But Coleman gets the corner and gets another first down for the Knights. And he's getting them downfield. He ran the seam, completed about a 50-yard completion there early on in the series, and now gets another first down. And the Knights are threatening. The Norsemen need a stop here.
Tell you what, these windows are making us work tonight. 47 tackled by number 37 tackled by number 47, I do believe. That's good for a 8-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 2, Canada. Ball snapped, number 9. Run by number 37. Tackle by 54. There is a flag in the middle. Flag against Canada. It's going to be holding against Canada.
So holding on Canada, that'll push them back a little bit. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to watch the NCAFA Midget Championship for 2019. It's the 64th championship weekend for NCAFA, which is a huge achievement. 65 coming next year. You see the rain falling hard. Back up to the booth and CKDJ.
Beautiful cut block by the O-line there. Pass intercepted by number 24. Jake Smith. That is probably the easiest name I have to pronounce tonight.
So Jake Smith with the big interception. I mentioned it earlier. They are going to need a turnover. A couple of key plays. That is one of the biggest key plays that this defense needs to come up with if the Norsemen are going to have a chance in this game. Preventing points, more points from the Knights getting on in the first half here. That interception, I can't understate it. That is absolutely huge, and that is a all-star safety that got lucky with the tip falling right in his hands. He makes the catch. Norseman's got the ball.
Handed off to number 11, run around the outside. Number 11, the Armando Pascal de la Cruz, runs it up for a, let's say, 5-yard gain on the play. I'll tell you, that's all they need in this game is just march up the field 5 yards at a time. Bel Air coming to the ball now. Canada waiting for them. Canada stacking the box with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down linemen, D linemen, as well as a linebacker in the box, expecting the run. Run by number 21, tackled by a swarm.
These championship games are always great because coaches usually find unique places for some players. Injuries are often an issue at this time of year. Halloween, of course, just passed this week, and studies sometimes get hard. So sometimes you have to plug players in unusual places, ask different things of your players, and sometimes that can really make the difference. Norsemen on a nice little completion there.
Complete to number 83. Francis Tayo receiving that ball from Bryce.
So 1st and 10 for the Norsemen. They're going to hope to make some progress. I think halftime coming just up here. It's only 10-0 ball game. I think it's important right now for the Norsemen's offense to try a few things, see how the defense is reacting. Maybe the coaches on the sideline can find a vulnerability in this defense.
Ball's up the middle, pass number 83, wide open. Still up.
And a huge reception over the middle to number 83. They found some success right in front of the safety there. And listen, the offensive coordinator, this is a great matchup because what we have here is two offensive coordinators that played at the U Sports level. I mentioned the quarterback, John Shaw from Acadia. On the other side, however, helping Tony's team, we have a former fullback, hybrid running back for the Carleton Ravens in Napolitano, longtime Warriors product, and he is calling the plays here. And he's got an unusual offense, a couple of young players, a young quarterback, a really tough all-star running back that we see here get swallowed up by the defense. How do you go about this championship game? What is the blend of play calling that you choose here with these numbers? We saw that they are able to get open, and last weekend we saw when the Eagles played the Knights, the last regular season game, the Eagles, who went 1-7 on the season, were able to put up 21 points on this Knights defense. So there is an opportunity for a team to put a chink in this Knights armor. And on this series, Norsemen are going to try to do it. Here we go.
The snap. Bryce back to throw. Pressure. He needs to get rid of that ball. Thrown down the field. Almost caught by the number 1 player.
Nice little effort there by number 1. Would be a phenomenal catch. Some OBJ action if he were able to come back down with that with his feet in, but right in front of the Norsemen sideline there, that's going to fall incomplete. And we don't often talk about the offense and defensive lines here, right? It's the unsung hero position. But we're going to be keeping an eye on this battle. These lines just kind of have a tendency to wear each other down throughout the course of this championship game. And holes can start to really appear that weren't there in the first half towards the late third and into the fourth quarter. You see the quarterback in study there, putting the calls in to the starter tonight. Don Wilcox on the call, longtime NCAFA referee. Great having him in the league, I tell you.
Bel Air lining up now to go. Bryce Walker back to receive the snap. Ball is snapped, third down. Goes to pass, pressure, thrown. Received.
Almost a huge catch. And you know what? 83 was basically double covered there. They had him covered down nicely. They took a shot nonetheless. Falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a punting situation now. McCardle we saw back there to return the punt last time. I wonder if they're going to put number 2 back and hope for a home run. Ferdinand can do it. We know how explosive of a player he is. So we'll see who's going to be receiving this punt. I think if I were the Norsemen, I would direct this one out of bounds towards the corner.
Back to snap. Ball's kicked towards the bench and caught just inbounds by the number 2 out at the 37-yard line, let's say.
So they do decide to angle that punt, get some good coverage around number 2. They do have Ferdinand back returning the punt. That is going to be another huge, huge deal for this Norsemen special teams unit tonight. You can't give Ferdinand open space with the ball on a punt return. He will knock you out with taking one to the house. Vanasse in the shotgun here on first down.
9 left. Connor Vanashe's throw.
Good no call. Great coverage by that Norseman cornerback. And you see Smith coming over to provide some support towards the end of the play. So on first down, that goes incomplete, sets up 2nd and 10 for the Knights. We're well into the second quarter here, and we have a football game, 10-0.
Ball thrown.
Now, if I am the defensive coach for the Norsemen here, the ball is going to be wet. I think with this quick passing game with the Knights, what you want to be telling your secondary and your linebackers right now is when you're coming in for the tackle, form a fist and swat that ball. You're going to get it popped out at some point in the game. Who knows? Maybe the ball pops out and you can do a scoop and score, take it to the house. The defense, I think, if they can score a touchdown, the Norsemen's defense, that is going to be part of the puzzle of winning this midget championship game. They can't rely on their offense 100% to get it done. The defense is going to have to step up and make some plays here.
Down a stab and shotgun. Connor Vanashe back to throw. Throws it away. Lets it go. Caught by number 84. I'm glad that our statistician has eyes, because I do not. It is 3rd and 1. Gain of 9 on that play. 3rd and 1 now. Canada with the ball, lining up the snap. Connor back receive.
5-pack receiver
Trying to draw
set.
him offside.
You know this is
Almost
going to
successful.
Roca
Ball
up the
snapped
middle.
Back, handed off.
And he's got the first down, puts his head down.
And ran up.
First tackled by number 42, Jake Papalia.
Score is 10-0 in this first half. We are back to throw. Connor throwing. Oh! Pass incomplete. Intended for receiver number 2. Cassine Ferdinand. Line up again. 2nd and 10. We're back. Connor throws. Number 11 dropped again.
He almost had it. They're going to Coleman again, stretching the field, making it very challenging for the Norsemen secondary to cover all that space. They have so many weapons. You see McCardle there on the left side. They use Coleman on the near side as a slot. He's fast and he's got great hands on that attempt. He can come down with it, but they're going to stretch this defense out.
3 degrees. Backward pass to number 2. Thrown up to number 4. He's wide open. Caught. He's at the 10. Brought out at the 5-yard line.
So a huge play for the Knights. They throw the swing pass, and he passes it to a wide open. I mean, obviously the defense is going to drop coverage there. That's a play that they usually run. They don't throw off of it very often, and that's a tough one to cover. They're lucky that Smith was able to get over there and make the tackle.
Playground football right there. And now
And a huge effort by the running back to get in for the touchdown. And the Knights score another one. So in the second quarter here, the West Ottawa Knights take a commanding lead now at 16-0 with the extra point to come. The Norsemen have fended them off relatively well up to this point. But they are chipping away at this Norseman team with the points.
Reminder that after the music comes on, we will be back here for some second half football on CKDJ 107.9 and HESN. I did not see, was the kick good?
So it's 17-0 for the Knights. Still not an impossible deficit for this Bel Air team. They've made them earn it with chunks at a time. But I tell you, some great play calling by the Knights. John Shaw calling that receiver pass. The little screen to the wideout. He takes a step back behind the line of scrimmage, and he finds an open defender that gets them about 50 yards in one chunk. Sets up a couple more plays. They're in the end zone for another 6. Halftime coming up soon, okay? Bel Air is going to have to figure out a way to put up some points. We knew that was going to be a struggle for them with a young offense. Their defense, as we said, needs to keep them in it, and the defense needs to score some points.
Can't make out his number 12. Number 11, sorry. Receiving the ball to 6, running vertically instead of running horizontally instead of vertically.
Now this is interesting. It's going to be some chippy talking here because Cruz, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, actually started the season with this Knights team. He was shipped over to the Norsemen. He's made an impact with this Bel Air team this season. But these kids know each other. They're going to be talking at each other. I don't know what the relationship is with Cruz and the rest of the Knights team, but that they're going to be talking to each other between the plays here.
Bel Air's offense deep in their own zone. Bryce back to receive. Catches back to throw. Pressure.
The ball a little behind on the pass. Well covered. Flag down, though. See what the call is.
It's going to be some sort of pass interference, but we are going to find out. .34 seconds left in the half.
So at halftime, we're going to step aside and we're going to play a few videos of the Hall of Fame inductees this season for NCAFA. It's a new initiative that I helped create to try to honor some of the history of where Ottawa football's come from. A lot of great people have made the sport and worked hard over the years, lots of years, to make this sport what it is. And a few legends to Ottawa football inducted into the first ever NCAFA Hall of Fame. Norseman the second down, almost finds the receiver. Safety backs off, makes a very wise decision not to make the hit on the defenseless receiver. That's a very heads-up, savvy play by that free safety. The 3 NCAFA Hall of Fame inductees, of course, was Sandy Ruckstall, Steve Dean, and John Smith. These 3 men can't say enough about what they have done for the sport in this city. As we're watching Don Wilcox on the call, I just love championship weekend because it really is a homecoming for a lot of people that have played or coached or had kids play in the league, and it's a time to come back and enjoy the sport that we all love, the game of football. So congratulations to those 3 gentlemen being inducted into the NCAFA Hall of Fame. We're going to show a little tribute videos at halftime for those 3 gentlemen. If you haven't seen them online yet, stick around at halftime to see those. Here we go. Norsemen in the shotgun.
Throwing it deep. Incomplete. Almost intercepted. Just dropped by the Canada numbers. Dropped by Canada number, pull down your jersey, 3.
That's Karkati, free safety, roaming free safety of the Knights. Great player. I really enjoyed watching him this season. He's got a nose for the ball. He's always around the ball, and that's what you want to see out of a free safety. Good instincts. And he's also a graphic designer. He designed a really nice poster that we shared, and maybe a HESN graphic designer in the waiting here.
They're back. Bryce going for it.
So now you're seeing the Norsemen trying to open it up on offense a little bit. They're passing much more. They're feeling like maybe the clock is ticking away on them, and they're going to have to find a way to score some points. I'm telling you, if they're gonna win, they're gonna need to score, I think, 30 points. If the defense can hold West Ottawa to under 30 and the Norsemen can find a solution, maybe get a kickoff return touchdown by Lakusa, maybe a pick six or a fumble, scoop, and score, that is what it's going to take. So I'm waiting to see if one of those plays happens just to keep pace with how this team needs to perform. And that's a dropped interception by number 17.
Almost intercepted by number 17. Very close to an interception. And that does it for right now. We will be right back after a few songs here on CKDJ 107.9 and HESN. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll see you in the second half of football. Kiff, take it away.
So the first half comes to an end. 17-0 for the West Ottawa Knights over the Bel Air Norsemen in the Midget Championship for 2019, 64th edition of NCAFA Championship Weekend. And like I said, really the key to this game is going to be Bel Air needing to score some points. They're going to have to come out in the second half with an explosion of points. And they're going to need it from every facet of the game, special teams, offense, defense. And that is really, in my opinion, the only way that they're going to have a shot here in the second half. Otherwise, if not, West Ottawa, I think, is just going to continue to chip away, adding points on the scoreboard, and we're going to see maybe a 45-0 final. That is my prediction here. I hope you guys will all share the video, help promote football in Ottawa. The more people that see it on your news feed, they will see that football in Ottawa is serious. It's no joke. We are broadcasting here from Minto Field. We have the Knights mascots running center field. How cool is that? Never seen a mascot at NCAFA ever in my life. Maybe a parent with a mohawk or something in the past, but no full-fledged mascot before. I'm Jesse Card here with the HESN crew. We're going to give our camera ops some warmth here for the next couple minutes before we get back at this. Once again, thanks for sharing the video. And we will be back with the second half of the game. See you in a little bit.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U. You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by House Edge Media. House Edge Media is a creative marketing agency based in Ottawa that helps businesses innovate and automate their digital marketing activities. Visit them at houseedgemedia.com.
This year, NCAFA is celebrating 3 individuals who have made an enduring impact on the development of football in Ottawa and the lives of thousands of youth. NCAFA wishes to congratulate longtime Bel Air Lions and Norsemen president John Smith on being inducted into the NCAFA Hall of Fame. Join us on November 1st when your Ottawa Red Blacks play the Montreal Alouettes, and help us congratulate John Smith on his incredible community achievements. John Smith started coaching in 1971 for the Bel Air Lions Mosquitoes. A good friend asked him to come out and help at practice one night. He was invited out for a second practice, and 48 years later, John continues to advocate for football in Ottawa and run the Bel Air Lions Football Club. John has always been a fan of the game of football, and coaching with friends and being a positive influence in kids' lives is a fulfilling way to spend his time. When asked to reflect on some of his favorite memories over the years, John recalled the first year the Lions Club fielded a tyke program. John recalls there wasn't much money, so the tyke team was forced to wear surplus mosquito equipment and white practice pants. All the other levels had white practice pants, but on game days they wore black pants to match the club's black and gold colors. Midway through the season, John and his coaches dug up enough black pants for their tyke team and surprised them one night at practice. The kids were absolutely ecstatic, jumping up and down with joy. In that moment, John realized how important it was for these kids to feel a part of the club by wearing the black and gold team colors, and how football can provide an identity for kids to feel a part of something bigger than themselves, to be a part of a football club. Join us on November 1st when your Ottawa Red Blacks play the Montreal Alouettes, and help us congratulate John Smith on his incredible community achievements. We encourage everyone to head on over to Facebook and join the NCAFA alumni group, share pictures, and carry on the rich tradition of football in Ottawa. This year, NCAFA is celebrating 3 individuals who have made an enduring impact on the development of football in Ottawa and the lives of thousands of youth. NCAFA wishes to congratulate longtime Nepean Eagles and formerly Redskins president and NCAFA president Stephen Dean on being inducted into the NCAFA Hall of Fame. Join us on November 1st when your Ottawa Red Blacks play the Montreal Alouettes, and help us congratulate Steve Dean on his induction into the NCAFA Hall of Fame. Steve became involved in football as a result of his kids wanting to play sports. Initially, it was his son wanting to play tackle football. Later on, his daughter joined the girls' touch football program.
Well, like most people, I think, we had a son or a daughter that was interested in playing. My son was 9 years old, played for a club in Barrhaven, and came out and said, Dad, I want to play football. And I joined a bunch of other fathers with kids of the same age, and that started the whole event of me being involved with football as long as I have.
Steve's love for the game certainly influenced his kids, and that dynamic has kept him involved these many years.
NCAFA is an all-volunteer organization that offers organized tackle, touch, flag, and cheer programs in our community, whereas the objectives of this organization include the promotion of health, fitness, respect, and fair play to the youth in our city, whereas the association is celebrating its 60th anniversary in 2015.
Steve cherishes so many memorable moments looking back on his time with football and NCAFA. He loved coaching, working as a club president and NCAFA league president. To sum it all up, Steve says, "What I can say is that I have met so many great people in the sport of football. Players, parents, coaches, and volunteers. All who have made my time in NCAFA very memorable."
When I first started, we had weight limits. We had age calculations based on a mid-year number, and we had an overage underweight category. All of these things were put in place for various reasons. But what we found was they started restricting the number of players from participating in the game. So one of the big issues was obviously weight limits. We took that out in early 2000s, and have never looked back. So it became a much more inclusive sport, boys and girls, and players of a certain weight or age got to play with their peers and not have to move around as much as we did in the past. So that to me was probably the most significant change I've seen. Well, it's very humbling. I think when you look back at the number of volunteers that have come through the organizations that support NCAFA, we're up to 15 clubs this year, 65 tackle teams, 2,000 players, 2,000 plus players, 400 coaches. We've got a full girls touch football program, 22 clubs, 22 teams, sorry. Another couple hundred girls. Cheerleading is growing. I think we've got about 100 cheerleaders within about 5 clubs. So it's become a league that started with 4 tackle teams, has grown into quite a bit and quite a bit more. And I think the key thing to me is how inclusive it's become. It's not just a male-dominated sport. We have girls on the tackle teams. We've got a full girls touch football program. And here we are entering 60 years, and we hope to be around for another 60.
Join us on this year. NCAFA is celebrating 3 individuals who have made an enduring impact on the development of football in Ottawa and the lives of thousands of youth. NCAFA wishes to congratulate longtime Myers Riders president Sandy Ruckstall on being inducted into the NCAFA Hall of Fame. Join us on November 1st when your Ottawa Red Blacks play the Montreal Alouettes, and help us congratulate Sandy Ruckstall being inducted into the NCAFA Hall of Fame. Sandy first got involved with Ottawa football in 1981 when his son Steve showed interest in playing football and registered at the Pee Wee level for the Sooners, where he played 1 season. Steve graduated to Bantam in 1982, and they had to move to the Myers territory for the Bantam program, where Sandy helped out as a volunteer, always being around to help and never missing a moment. In 1983, the Myers Riders were seeking a new club president, so Sandy decided to put his hat in the ring, and in only his second year with the Myers Riders, he became the president. Sandy. And we are back for the second half of the 2019 NCAFA Midget Championship. The kickoff for the second half is underway. Going to send it back up to the booth to Tavon and CKDJ.
Nene bringing it back up towards the 40. Gets it to the 41-yard line. Struggling to sit here. Who knew it would be such a task to take a seat?
So like I said, here we go. Norsemen will have the ball first. They've seen some success through the air over the middle with 83. They have a young quarterback. We can't expect them to throw their way to a victory. They're going to have to get Steven Rivera more involved in the game. If they can get some big runs, it can start to get into the back of the minds of the Knights here. They play action. He almost takes a huge hit here. Ball's underthrown. And a nice play by that rush end to back off and not take that hit on the quarterback. That would have no question been a roughing the passer call and would have given them a first down. Instead, it's 2nd and 10 for the Norsemen.
2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass. Listening to NCAFA championship action here. Midget A Cup finals. Ball snapped back to Bryce, a little bit high. Popped over the top's number 11, who was swallowed up immediately by the number 82.
And a nice pass there. He had a lot of pressure in his face. He trusted where his receiver would be. Saw maybe a little bit of a glimpse of an open receiver there and just trusted his arm, got it out there, made a completion. But now this is a huge 3rd down situation for the Norsemen. They're going to have to find a way to stay on the field as an offense. They're going to need to score, like I said, about 30 points minimum.
Lining up. The snap in a shotgun formation. Big bomb by Bryce down and
nearly intercepted by Kakati. That ball was underthrown. Maybe if it had a chance if he could get it over top there, but nothing doing. It'll bring up 4th down and another punting situation for the Norsemen.
Count that have been almost knocked down or almost intercepted. It's going to be 4th down. They're going to line up to punt. 10 minutes and 20 seconds left. Ball's punted and lands just out of bounds at the 43 or 42-yard line.
Now, it's a wise choice, I think. Keep the ball away from McCardle and Ferdinand on the punt. You certainly don't want to, if you're the Norsemen, you don't want to give them the opportunity to return one for a touchdown on special teams unit. That would absolutely be a backbreaker. So far, the defense, even though it's 17 points here, they've done a reasonable job of containing the Knights' offense, making sure that it doesn't get out of hand too early. They still have 2 full quarters to get the job done here. The West Ottawa Knights, I think, are playing into the game and saying, listen, we don't need to score 54. We just need to win this championship and get to the Interprovincial Bowl. They're going to try to chip away here on offense. That time the pass incomplete by Vanasse.
Number 11 and number 83 there both fell over. Third and 2. Line up again in the shotgun formation like we've seen for most of the night so far. Ball snapped, handed off to another up the middle run. Brings it out wide to 37. Tackle by number 65. 4-yard gain on the play. That is good for a first down, Canada. Line up again in the shotgun formation. Going relatively hurried up offense here. Back to throw. Bombed it out. Caught by number 42.
McCardle on the reception. Another big passing completion for McCardle in this game. Gets up, holding his left shoulder a little bit. Going to keep an eye on that. But he, of course, scored the first touchdown in this match on a nice little corner route. Got over top of the defense. McCardle, a little shaken up on the left shoulder there. Vanasse out of the shotgun. First down.
And the thrown yardage. Right up the middle by 37. Brought down by a group of yellow.
I think the Norsemen are going to be looking to play some man coverage. And it's going to ask a lot of this team to do is to cover these talented receivers. But zone is just, Vanasse is going to pick them apart if they stay in zone.
Quarter yet to go after this. Canada just making it happen there. Where 83 brought down by the number 1. Belair starting to look really frustrated. Oh, ball is thrown just through the hands of the number 42 for Canada.
Pass intended for McCardle again. It was fairly well covered. Ball sails over his head. You can see the fog on the field. It looks a beautiful shot here in composition by the HESN crew. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching the Midget Championship. We've got some great football here this season. Red Black's not the best season, but they will be back, I'm sure. Make some changes in the offseason. And NCAFA will be back for its 65th season. And a lot of work's been done to the midget and bantam levels, trying to raise and elevate the bar, give the players and coaches a more professional experience, and I think it's really coming along. It's looking good.
Couple numbers that exist that don't exist. Oh, just through the hands there of number 9.
3 defenders covering McCardle on a similar type play and pass pattern that he scored the first touchdown of the evening on. This time, we're making sure that he doesn't get another one. And like I said, this is a real task for the defense on the Norsemen and also the coaches. You know, they've had to put together some sort of plan to defend this offense. And so far, I think they get a passing grade. But they're going to need, I keep saying it, I'm a broken record, they're going to need to find a way to score some points.
Their lead to 20. It is wide.
This could be it.
By the number 4 in the end zone, who gets around the Canada defense, jumps over the number 11, and is finally brought down by the number 42.
Lacusa on the return. You mentioned him at the top of the broadcast. So a big boost, giving the offense good field position here to start the second half. And Lacusa, it's the missed field goal that provides the opportunity to give the offense a little spark here. I think the offense is going to have to do something with the ball here on this series. They're going to have to find some success soon.
It's great. Line up in the shotgun. Canada waking up.
Fake toss.
Throwing up the middle.
They're saying incomplete.
What are they going to call that? Pass incomplete. Very, very close to an interception there by the number 3.
As I mentioned, the midget league is really, it's becoming a destination for that age group, for players that want to go on. There's so much talk about what to do to try to get the best path. And
shotgun for
truthfully, this league can provide everything these kids need to get the film and the look to possibly get some school paid for.
Shoulder. He's going to scramble for it.
And on that play, a little bit of a missed handled snap, and quarterback takes a knee. I think he might have knocked his noggin there when he was tackled, so he's going to take a knee there. He's going to go over, take a couple plays off, assess if he's able to return. In the event that he can't and decides not to come back into the game, I think we're going to see Cruz move into the quarterback spot, or possibly a wildcat with Rivera, which, listen, I don't think that would be good for business. It would really restrict their ability to pass the ball, make them one-dimensional. Defense then could hound in on gap sound defense, and this might be a bit of a blow to the Norsemen. We'll see what they do here. He has to come out for a couple plays. Johnny and the quarterback, he mishandles the snap also. Player falls onto him.
Dropped right there.
Maybe some nerves of the new quarterback coming in, but forget it. Might have been week 6. The Norsemen played the Giants at Gillian, and Johnny came in as relief quarterback, and he got the team marching. So maybe this is what the team needed, a switch here just to get something going. But now it's a punting situation.
The Knights are here cheering on their defense. A punt. Punt caught.
Ferdinand on the return.
Knocked out at about the 25-yard line. 50-50 is being called here.
The ball is 105. You get 5, I get 100. All right, 5, 4, 4. 5, 4, 4 is the first 3 numbers.
So some discussion by the referees, I think sorting out where he stepped out of bounds, but a nice return by Ferdinand. Norseman not able to angle it out of bounds and keep that return to a minimal. But the Knights will take over here late in the third quarter of the midget championship. 50-50 being called. Now, because of the rain and the weather all day, not as many people here as we anticipated, but lots of people watching online, both on YouTube and Facebook. Go ahead, give this a share right now. Share it on your news feed. Help promote football. More kids playing, the better. And we say holding is the call on the punt return team for the Knights. But here we go, 1st and 10. Vanass out of the shotgun.
There we are. Starting again.
They hand it off to Nate Coleman. He's pushed into the Norsemen bench, but not before picking up possibly another first down. Close to it, if not. There we see a shot of the Knights bench. Looks pretty calm over there. I think they're calm and in control here in the third. Up 17-0. Pace of the game slowing down a little bit. Head referee Don Wilcox has got your call. We're going to step aside shortly, and we'll be back in a moment.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U.
And we're back with the game. So I believe it was a first down. They decided. So Knights and Connor Vanass has another first down. Up 17-0. Late in the third quarter. Vanass takes one step, fires it to his left side to number 4, who has got a completion, sidesteps a few defenders, and it's brought down. Jake Papalia on the tackle.
More of these beautiful passes coming from Connor Vanass all night. He's been making these passes.
Hand off to Roca, goes left, only gets a couple. Tackled by number 1, number 40, and I believe number 4 is Sean Lacusa. Sorry. Yes, I think that was number 4 on the tackle. So as we said here, at this point in the game, right, 17-0, definitely having trouble offensively moving the ball. Vanass is going for it on the slant to Ferdinand.
Ball just slipping through the number 2 hands.
Sorry, not Ferdinand. I believe that's number 4. They run a little slant. Basically at the 2-yard line, he makes his cut. And if that cornerback doesn't have inside leverage and he isn't shading, that's a touchdown.
And again, like we've been seeing all night so far.
This time, completion by Ferdinand. Takes the ball over the middle to about the 5-yard line. But this Knights defense just able to kind of pick their spots through the air. Don't be surprised if they give the ball to Roca here to try to punch it in and extend their lead.
There's a timeout. Alrighty. Going back. He's going to run it in. Connor is going for it. Are they going to give it to him? Touchdown, Canada. Hear the crowd go wild. You can hear them out there. They are excited about that play for sure. Extending their lead 23-0. Quarterback keeping that in, getting his stats up there like he deserves, Connor Vanass. Been having a killer season this year.
So Vanass, we talked about him being comfortable finding some room. He has the green light from offensive coordinator John Shaw to tuck the ball. This time he shows that he's got some speed. I said at the start of the broadcast that I didn't think he moved great laterally. He's more of a north-south type runner when he takes off with the ball, but there he proves me wrong, and he takes it around the end and dives in for the touchdown. We'll be back shortly. Just going to step aside as they get set for the kickoff here. And we're back here.
And now I'm getting... Alrighty, ball's caught. Huge return. Pushed out at around the 49-yard line. Pushed out at the 49-yard. No. 48-yard line, sorry. 43, Devin. Oh, in case you can't tell, it's been a long day.
So 24-0 for the Knights over the Norsemen here.
43-yard line. Bryce back out as QB for Bel Air, going under center. Off.
So the game's taken a little bit, it's kind of slowed down in the pace here. And usually you can sense that happening in a football game when one team is kind of doesn't have many answers. And I think in this scenario, Tony Vellante and his Norsemen team in the final again after a year off are kind of looking for answers right now, and they don't have any.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left. First and 14, 15.
Nice catch there.
Flag on the play.
And he's got something. He's got a big gain. Big gain. He's going to take it out near the 20-yard line. So finally we see something happening with that Norseman offense. The question is this going to be a little bit too little too late? We will see here with another first down for the Norsemen.
Sorry, I've been corrected. Roughing the passer, play stands, plus 15 yards. The sticks have moved up. So it is another 15 yards added on. So they are at the 10-yard line now.
Looks like the Norsemen's taking a timeout. We're going to step aside shortly and be back with a first down for the Norsemen in scoring position here for one of the only times tonight so far. Last time they had the ball in this position, they fumbled it, gave it back to the Knights. That can't happen. They got to get some points in on the board right now on this series.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U.
We are back here. First and goal for the Norsemen. Cruz, as the quarterback, tosses it to Lacusa. Lacusa off the side.
And they are Norsemen.
And this is big. This is absolutely huge for the Norsemen. We said they needed to score in this series. They get the touchdown. They make it 24-6 with the extra point to come. Maybe they go for 2 here now. What you see happening here with this Norseman team is, oh, there's a penalty, so we'll see what this is. Extra point is going to be kicked. But what you see here is some changes being made with personnel. Lacus is coming in as the running back. They put Pascal de la Cruz in at quarterback, trying to get some of your best athletes the opportunity to make some plays here. There's really nothing to lose, and Tony senses that this is the time, now or never, to make something happen. I think it's a good choice to switch things up. Give it a try.
Lining up the kick. Norseman set to kick to the Canada Knights. Getting in position. Bel Air player number 1 made a signaling to the audience to get up on their feet. Got a little bit of excitement after the touchdown there. Number 8, Giuseppe Boudot. Giuseppe Boudot set to kick here.
So here we go. We're going into the 4th quarter of the Midget Championship. Bel Air finally able to put some points on. They score a touchdown. They make a personnel change. Are they going to be able to sustain this? I think maybe this is the biggest defensive series for the Norsemen coming up right here. But first, the kickoff return.
Alrighty. Lining up now to kick. Getting ready for the kick here. Kick is deep and caught by number 24. Wrapped up in a sea of orange.
They're going to have to try to get a strip here. Defense, as I said, needs to score 6. That's my prediction. If they're going to make this game, defense needs to come up with a pick here or a fumble. The offense of the Knights don't make many mistakes that are self-inflicted. So the Knights are going to have to create a turnover. And with the wet weather, the way I believe it's going to come, if it's going to come, is stripping the ball after the receiver makes a catch. Here we go. First hand.
Thrown. Rocket caught by number 3.
It's Ferdinand on the catch.
Number 1. That number 1 player out there playing all over the field. He's been on offense. He's been on defense. His native position is as receiver.
And on 2nd and short, they give the ball to Roca. Roca gets the first down. A lot of similarities, I believe, between Ethan Roca and the running back at Myers Bantam. They both have kind of the same frame in a running back and great lateral movement, great feet. They can kind of step out of a tackle easily like you just saw. They give it to Roca again.
Half. Kind of nice trying to get up the field, but not gaining much traction on that one.
Papalia on the tackle. He's been active all day for that defense. I think leading tackler in this game for sure, maybe for the season for the Norsemen. You see the bench here trying to keep some energy. They know it. It has to happen now.
Back to Vanass. Vanass's throw. Just missed.
No flag down. Great coverage by number 30. One-on-one. They go deep. They test him, and he comes up big. Big for the Norsemen. And I think that's a good no call. Sometimes the refs standing right in front of that, the crowd, at least half of the crowd, usually calling for something. He stands his ground, makes a great no call.
Back in shotgun. Back. Throw. And he's swallowed up. Connor Vanasse trying to pummel through, but swallowed up for a sack by half of the Norsemen defense.
And this doesn't look good. Vanasse is down. He somehow escaped half of the defense there. Stepped out of it. Looked like he was going to get away, but there was just too many players. Now, maybe he got the wind knocked out of him. The trainer's having a look at him. We're going to take a step back, and we'll be back to check on the condition of Connor Vanasse shortly. But this doesn't look good for the Knights.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by House Edge Media. House Edge Media is a creative marketing agency based in Ottawa that helps businesses innovate and automate their digital marketing activities. Visit them at houseedgemedia.com. This broadcast is brought to you in part by House Edge Media. House Edge Media is a creative marketing agency based in Ottawa that helps businesses innovate and automate their digital marketing activities. Visit them at House.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U. You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play?
Back from commercial, Connor Vanasse is up, walking to the sideline. We're going to see if he's all right. I called maybe wind knocked out of him, but it also kind of looked like maybe it was a leg. But he seems to be walking all right, so hopefully Connor is able to come back in. I would say Coleman's probably the next guy that's going to take over here. I don't think Valentino is out there dressed tonight. So we'll see who takes over. My guess is going to be Nate Coleman. Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. Actually, Ferdinand has taken some snaps in the Wildcat. He can throw the ball too, so that looks like what they're going to do here is bring out Ferdinand as the quarterback, but I suspect we're going to see Connor again tonight. 5 receivers set. 2 to the left side. Coleman. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Punting situation here. And they kick it. No yards call is going to be thrown. And the Kusa's got the ball. We saw a big return out of him earlier, but this time he is wrapped up by Coleman and number 17 quite nicely. Henry on the call, doing the PA. Had a great chat with Henry earlier during the full day of B-Cups. It was great to reconnect with so many people. I love Championship Week. It truly is Ottawa football homecoming. And with the league getting better tied in with the Red Blacks and the Carleton Ravens and the Ottawa GGs, that is definitely relationships that need to be continued to be nurtured to really have one strong football community that supports one another. That has always been my vision of Ottawa football and what I've been working towards since I moved back to Ottawa in 2010. So here we go. 1st and 10 Norsemen. The last series they did score. Cruz in the quarterback.
Snap back. Run out wide. Number 14 has it in the backfield. He gets up, tackled down for the loss of a yard, I would say.
Rivera on the toss right. So Cruz, traditionally a receiver. He's played running back last year for the Knights in the midget division. There's the last play of the third quarter. We're heading into the fourth quarter. You might see some people holding up the 4 common on teams to do, but you best believe that the Norsemen know this is their last gasp hope. Depending on what they can do with the ball here on this series, the crowd getting up here, maybe they make it 14-24. That would leave them maybe the better part of the fourth quarter to stop the hobbled Canada Knights offense. I mean, really, the stage is set here. Quarterback's out. We don't know if we're going to see Vanasse again. And that won't help them unless they get a flag here late. No flag is called. Don says, listen, back to your huddles, gentlemen. But what I'm saying is, really, if they can get another score here, it makes it a 10-point game, and there is a flag there, actually, so I think the Norsemen are going to be the benefactors of that. That's going to move them up 10 yards. And if they can stop the offense here in the fourth quarter and limit them to 0 points, 10 points, really, that could make for an exciting finish. Don't go away. Stay tuned on the broadcast. We've got your conclusion to the 2019, the 64th edition of NCAFA Championship Weekend, and we got the Midgets. Winner goes on to the Interprovincial Bowl, 3rd annual, next week in a TD Place, Sunday night. Cruz out of the shotgun. Tosses it to Lacusa, who throws it on the halfback pass, but he does what you cannot do. Throws a duck, and it's picked off by number 82. And 82 telling the crowd, that's a wrap.
Connor Vanasse is back in the quarterback position. Ready to start this game up. This drive up.
So Vanasse is back. So that's great news for not only this series, but if the Knights advance tonight, which it looks like they will, they'll need him to face either the Orleans Rasmen in only their second year of existence, climbing the QMFL like a ladder. Started in the second division last year, went 9-1. Lost their wild card first div playoff game to LaSalle Warriors. This year joins the QMFL in the first division and goes, I believe it was 8-2. Rocco off the side. Hard tackle by Papalia. The leading tackler on this Norseman defense. A hard-working kid, comes from a great family. I learned a lot coaching with Papa Joe Papalia, longtime defensive coordinator for the Warriors at Bantam. I had some great experiences coaching at the Bantam level with Paul Stewart and Joe Papalia, Tim Sheehan, some wonderful people that are a part of this league. We honored 3 of maybe the most legendary, John Smith, Sandy Ruxtall, and Steve Dean last night in the Hall of Fame inaugural class. Coleman on a little hook pass. It's wrapped up quite nicely by number 9 and number 30 respectively. But those years that I coached at the Warriors, we were able to take a very talented team to the A-Cup Championship. It was played at Millennium, and the first year Millennium had this new field, and we lost the Raiders, but that was a great magical year, and it's pretty exciting when you play in an A-Cup or a championship midget game, and that's what the kids are getting tonight with this experience. Going to send it back up to the booth shortly to Vaughn.
Sorry, 3rd and 13. Lining up again in the shotgun formation like they have been most of the night. Connor back to throw. Launches it up the middle. Caught. by number 48. Sorry, 42. The jerseys are scrunched up. It's a little bit.
That's McCardle on another reception. He's the leading receiver tonight for the Knights. Touchdown early on, and maybe 10 or 12 receptions for close to 100 yards. Roca on the carry.
Another run. Canada driving it up the field by 37.
And now we're starting to see the war in the trenches take fold. This is exactly what the Knights want. The offense and defensive lines have started to wear down, and that's when you start to see some seams opening up for the run game. Not only that, they're chewing valuable time off of the clock for the Norsemen, who desperately need it.
Tackle by number 2 or 1.
That's Ferdinand.
Number 1 player who's been a key.
Ferdinand on the reception for another first down.
Himself on the tackle.
The question will be, where will Ferdinand play next year? Will it be back here in Ottawa at the youth sports level? Will it be in a prep school, maybe down in the U.S.? Reclassifying, maybe getting a shot at an NCAA scholarship. But no question, this kid's a talented football player, and he's been helping his Knights team for the last 2 years win a lot of games. Player down for the Norsemen right now. We're going to step aside quickly while the injured player is tended to, and we'll be back shortly.
You think it's an accident? You think it's luck? You think it matters where you play? How good your teammates are? There's no showcase event needed here. Keep it simple. Stay focused. Message us on Facebook to join Team U.
And we're back here. Beautiful shots of downtown Ottawa tonight. The rain is falling, but we've got football in the nation's capital. And we're happy to be bringing you the NCAFA Midget Championship, courtesy of the House Edge Sports Network. A touchdown for the Knights. And a late flag at the end, maybe some taunting. I think that's going to go on Smith, the safety for the Norsemen.
8 minutes and 20 seconds left. There is a flag that looks like it was after the play, which will be applied most likely to kickoff.
You know, watching these
Probably
sometimes,
an OC of some sort.
Sometimes watching this, you don't really know, what is said. Sometimes it can look like a flag is thrown maybe unnecessarily, but perhaps a player had said something. And you can see number 24, Smith, still talking there, saying something to the players. This is an emotional game. These are big stakes, and the whole community watching online and in the stands, you're trying to play well. Sometimes offers to schools are online here. And I tell you, as a competitive football player, these kids, I can tell you, love the spotlight. They want people to care about them. That's why we do all this. And there you go, a shot of the Knights mascot. I think it's conveniently he was able to just dust off the old Halloween costume from a few nights ago and show up to the game tonight. Back up to the booth with Tavon and CKDJ.
An OC on the touchdown against Canada is being applied now. It's 15 yards back. They'll be kicking from the 30 instead of the 45. Canada set to kick to the Norsemen. Still 8 minutes and 20 seconds left.
So we're well into the fourth quarter now, and with a 31-7 lead.
Ball's kicked deep.
It's going to be tough for the Norsemen.
14's going to be returning it up the right, and he's going to be pushed out at around the 45-yard line.
Rivera with a nice return up to the 50. This guy's a load, but you can tell in the body language, this Norseman team looks like they look a little defeated, and the body language doesn't lie. They had that moment there when Van Ass went down with an injury. They had just scored with a little bit of a personnel change, and they had the ball back, and that was that halfback toss right, halfback pass that was underthrown and intercepted, and I think with it, some of the hopes at making this a closer contest into the fourth quarter.
So it was outside against Canada, basketball on the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
A lot of communication going on here before the snap, and that's
snapped. Number 11 has the ball.
And he's brought down, and I was going to say that's expected when you have people being thrown into the quarterback position and playing out of position. They're not as well polished because of it at that point in the game. You know, this is going to reduce the playbook quite a bit, and we're going to see basically toss left, toss right with Rivera. We're going to see some play action, bootleg with Cruz, and they're going to take a shot here and there. You know, the only way this is going to get done here for the Norsemen is getting something quick. And here we go on 2nd down.
Norsemen back to throw. Number 11. Swallowed up. Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Knights.
They said he was down, and
they're saying no fumble on the play, but somehow Cruz had evaded the rush. He got out there, but number 9 eventually bringing him down, securing the tackle. Sets up a 3rd down for the Norsemen. We're here in the 4th quarter, 31-7. Knights over Bel Air, trying to punch their ticket to the 3rd annual Interprovincial Bowl Championship Series at TD Place next Sunday. Rivera tosses a little, Cruz to Rivera on a little screenplay that Ricky Davidson sniffed out from a mile away. Ricky Davidson, number 52 on the Knights there, having another phenomenal season. Came up from the Bantam program with the Knights, where I believe he was part of that A-Cup Bantam Championship team that beat Cumberland, and they beat a very talented Cumberland team with a quarterback who's now playing down in the States as Christian Veilleux. He's the quarterback there in that championship game from a number of years ago. 2 or 3 at least. So a punting situation. It's a low snap, but he does recover it, and he kicks it, and it's actually touched.
Oh. I'm going to guess it's a no yards flag.
But the Knights will get the ball back. No yards is call. And Knights with great field position to get the ball and try to extend their lead even further. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have the championship celebration after. We're hoping the lights don't go out. The city of Ottawa is able to extend the time of that. Handoff up the middle, number 10, 6 or 7.
Big run there.
Run on the play by number 40.
Eight yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2, 2 yards to go. They're on the 30-yard line, give or take. A little bit, couple feet.
Give it to Coleman. Coleman, he's got the first down. Wisely steps out of bounds in front of number 1, the defender for the Norsemen.
Lining up again, Vanass back to throw. Back to throw. Rockets it to number 2.
Ferdinand steps out of a tackle. Bit of a late hit there. No flag. That's Jake Papalia there. A little slow to get up. But another completion from Vanass to Ferdinand, and they knocking on the doorstep again here. You see 81 out there looking for the fade. They take the out pass to Ferdinand, and it's a touchdown, Knights.
Growing this lead. The game is, may I say, basically decided, unless a catastrophic comeback by Bel Air.
So this Knights team, undefeated for 2 seasons in a
Tensions
row
are
under the tutelage of head coach Jimmy Fata. He's put together a very talented coaching staff with guys that have played a lot of football, know the game, and have motivated this team. These players like coming to practice. They like being coached by these guys. They've done a really great job with the program, and we'll see what happens next year. I don't know, not aware of anyone not coming back on that coaching staff, but as we know, in volunteer football, there's always changes, and hopefully if there is a shuffle at any of the teams that we find replacements, people to coach these kids up.
Here we are.
So the kickoff, late in the 4th quarter, you're watching HESN, the House Edge Sports Network, keeping you on top of all the amateur football happening in Ottawa this season. We had perhaps one of the worst CFL seasons of all time, but with the Red Blacks losing again last night to the Alouettes. But on the other hand, the GGs and the Ravens both got into the playoffs, which in a very hyper-competitive OUA is not a guaranteed every year. And they lost last weekend, actually, to Guelph and Waterloo, respectively. But two good programs on the up there. We'll see what happens with their coaching staffs, too. I haven't heard of any changes there, so hopefully we have the guys back, Samara and Barizi, respectively, for their programs. And we get some teams maybe into the semifinals of the Yates Cup next year, and they build on the success of this season. Right now we've got NCAFA football, which year after year produces players that go on to play at the next level in the U.S. and in Canada, and sometimes to the CFL. And as one of the largest, the largest amateur football organization in all of Canada, I want to personally thank everyone that volunteers on the executive and on their club executives, all the coaches. It takes a lot of people to make, which is essentially 5 football leagues with all the divisions, 5 separate football leagues run. And sometimes it's hard to do everything you want to do, but ultimately there's some great people that make this sport what it is here in Ottawa. And we hope everyone comes out next year too. Rivera off the left side. It's brought down a little late, and there's the flag. I think this time that's a good call.
Looks like it's going to be some sort of unnecessary roughness.
So unfortunately for the Bel Air Norsemen, it looks like the bus stops here tonight. They just didn't have the horses this season. They had some spots with some really senior all-stars in places, but 2 very young quarterbacks. You know, a defense that maybe in certain spots, you know, it was just tough to keep up with teams like the Knights in this league. Cruz keeps the ball.
Number 11 with the run. Bringing it up, trying to punch in the score just for a little sense of accomplishment here.
So this week
1 minute left in play here.
This week we'll be promoting the Interprovincial Bowl. We have Mosquito Pee-wee Bantam Midget at TD Place next Sunday. And we're going to see what we do right now as the 3rd annual edition of the Interprovincial Bowl Championships. Ottawa's down 6-1 to the Quebec leagues. So hoping that maybe this Knights team can get another win for the NCAFA football community in this bowl series. And we'll see tomorrow. We've got a lot of games tomorrow. We've got the A-Cup Championship Finals at Tyke all the way through to Bantam at 6 p.m. Some great teams we're really looking forward to seeing. I think maybe the prime time championship game for this entire weekend and week will be that Bantam, that Pee-wee and Bantam games tomorrow night, 3 p.m. kickoff and 6 p.m. You see the shot of the trophy there that will be awarded to the West Ottawa Knights shortly. And I think if you have to call an MVP in this game, it's tough, you know. But I'm going to go with McCardle. I think McCardle provided the the success early on with that first touchdown to get the ball rolling for the Knights. And I think if you're going to give it, it's going to be McCardle. Vanasse also perhaps a candidate there, throwing the touchdown to McCardle. He's also got another one with Ferdinand. So lots of players that performed very well here in this game. Not the flashiest final, not the best, not the most exciting game. I think it was quite obvious early on that the Norsemen were going to struggle finding anything on offense. And when you can't score and you play a team like West Ottawa, it's near impossible to win a game when you just can't keep pace on the scoreboard. Now Papalia playing quarterback for the Norsemen. So really, that's just a sign of the depth there. We saw the starting quarterback for the Norsemen go out due to injury in the first half, and
we will turn up the thing for you to hear.
You hear the end is near.
One more play. Congratulations to the Canada Knights, your Midget A-Cup champions. They're walking home with some rings. Congratulations to them. Thank you everybody for coming and listening. We had a whole bunch of fun here. Make sure you come back and tune in tomorrow and check us out, the HESN YouTube channel, and check it out. Thank you for watching. My name is Devin Loomis. I've been here at the Nepean Sportsplex all day. Had a great day. Kiff, take it away.
So there it is. You see the celebration, the jubilation, and the Knights deserve it. They go undefeated in the 2019 NCAFA season and league, and they will be representing Ottawa in the Interprovincial Bowl Championship. We haven't heard who they will face, either the Orleans Norsemen or the North Shore Lions. Got to see the Lions play a couple weeks ago against the Giants, and they definitely look like a team that can compete with the right adjustments. And the Norsemen were perhaps the closest team to give the Knights a run for their money, and they played early on, maybe week 3, out in the East End, and they actually came back. So, it'll be interesting that both these teams will be getting in the film room to study each other. They've got all week. For the most part, everyone got out without too many injuries. You can see a lot of respect between the two teams. These kids know each other. Both West End-based teams. And if we go to, we'll see the Vice President of NCAFA, Gowan Harding, there making some announcements and directing the teams to the middle of the field. They're going to want to get over and get to the 50-yard line for the celebration before the lights go out here, which has been known to happen. There's a shot of Scott Boxstall and Gowan Harding, the vice presidents of NCAFA, and rumors abound that perhaps the new NCAFA president incoming. And that is something that I would support. I think Gowan has been an absolute great football person here in Ottawa. Is really the architect, along with myself, of bringing in this Montreal element in the crossover games and the interprovincial bowl series. That wouldn't have been possible without Gowan's connections with the Montreal League, with the Gatineau Vikings often playing in the QMFL, and he's a man of great vision. So maybe we're going to see the start of the Gowan Harding NCAFA presidency and the reign, and be interesting to see what will be on his agenda to do in his term as president. Perhaps this still, of course, is not confirmed in any way. And it looks like they are checking the time, trying to get to the trophy ceremony. We also see Lynn Val, who's the midget coordinator, been involved with the midget league for many, many years, and in here in Ottawa with NCAFA, and truly maybe the most passionate midget supporter that that you can find in Ottawa. We'll take it down to Gowan.
Coach Jimmy, you can come out here and give who you think their MVP of the game is. What number, if you don't know that?
Number 4.
Number 4, get out here, take your helmet off. Let's get it. You can give us a forward. So I don't know your name, but what is your name?
So number 4, Lacusa gets the MVP for the Norsemen.
You got a picture with President Myers Riders Club Vauxhall. So, Coach, who would their MVP be? Number 9. Number 9,
And number 9 getting the Connor Van Ass, the quarterback for the West Ottawa Knights. Being voted by the other team as the MVP of the game. And here comes the championship trophy handoff.
President of the midget, no? Director of the midget, Lynn, gonna give you guys a trophy. So let's hear it for our champions, the Canada Knights.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, rightfully so. 2 years in a row, undefeated. Will they, though, finish the job next week and win the first midget-level Interprovincial Bowl championship? It's the third time we've sent a team as Ottawa. The first one being won. The Eagles actually gave the North Shore Mustangs a good game, but the Mustangs won. Last year, the Sun Youth Hornets took that game. Will this Knights team, led by head coach Jimmy Fata, be the team that can defeat the champion of the QMFL? And will it be the Orleans Rasmen in that game as the representative of the QMFL? We will find out the conclusion of all of that and more. Thank you for joining us on behalf of the entire HESN crew. My main man, Steve Johnston, in the U-Haul all day, providing technical support, and the camera crew that are freezing and wet, and myself, founder of HESN. I wanted to create a youth sports network. I believe in its 8th year. We've arrived, and we hope to continue. Thank you for joining us. That is all from Minto Field with the final, the West Ottawa Knights midget 38-7 of the Bel Air Norsemen, and the 64th edition of the NCAFA Championship weekend. Good night, everybody.